Hey yo, this is Legalize that I see, and I'm here to talk about Chronicles, chapter 11 from Bible verse. Well, I read the whole paragraphs in the Bible and all that kind of stuff that we're talking about. It tells you like what you've been life in, since you have big hope and shit. If you have big hope in life, you might get a girlfriend, you might need a car, you might need a house, you might need kids, or you might need everything that you have, like money. But money is important, but please don't get discriminated around about the Bible, because they wanted to succeed to help you to find a home, like an independent home. But they want you to succeed to have it in your own. That's your job. But especially you have a job too. You have work, you have school. But kids has to go to school since when they had to be age of 4 to 22. So that's their ages. They have to go to school. That's their life. Their life, they need to study, study hard to become a teacher, geometry teacher, history teacher. It could be a gas station person, Clorox worker, landscapers, cashiers, law associates, stocking associates, and there's more. There is a lot, and plus restaurants positions too, like owners or eventually bartenders and dishwashers and the others. You'll have to do the right thing in your life, but life is more important that God tell you. This is more everything that we need. Do not get suicides. Do not get angry about every people. Please. That's why we want you to succeed on your own. That's why I told everyone not to commit suicide or do not get angry about the money or all kind of that stuff. That's why we want you to succeed in their life or sacrifice. It doesn't matter. If you sacrifice in your life, they can't do anything. And you can't live with it no more. That's why people deport to some shit. That's why the life hits. When the life hits in really bad, then they can't do anything. That's why we want you to alert my people. People drink beer, in that life. Beer is bad for you because you can get enzymes, kidney disease, liver disease, and all kind of stuff. That stuff, it has to go away. We don't want to do that. Heart attacks is really bad for you too. You don't want to drink lemon most beer. All you have to do, just drink Coca-Cola, get some drinks, drink water, and live your life forever. But seniors have to live in their life without sodas, but they have to do it. But the best thing is, you'll have to do the right opportunity in your life. That's your hope. That's your life. The Chronicles chapter says about everything about this Bible was true. We don't want to end up dead in your life. But if you're dead, don't find the positions that you have to live heaven or hell. You don't want to go to hell. You might need to go to heaven. Heaven is good for you. God will appreciate you to hug you and smile, kisses you, everything. This is what the people need, especially in the funeral homes and all kind of stuff. That's where the spirits come from. That's why we want you to make sure how life is more important to have this grateful life. I've been to have a grateful life when I have work at a Home Depot. That was one of my biggest goals, But I wish I could go back to Home Depot again. But it's a good job to make that life successfully. But if you want to make this job successfully, you might need SSI or double up the money if you can. But I'm a U.S. citizen, but I can double up the money. But it don't matter. It's not gonna hurt anything about the money. But in this life, I can do anything in my life. Everybody can do anything in their life. Especially my cousins, my close cousins, friends, and family, and the others. They have to enjoy the life. Imagine my sister can marry Cari Leon. That would be awesome. That would be the greatest life that would happen to my sister. But that'd be cool though. I would love to see my sister have kids. Even my younger sister too. They have kids. So that's why they have to swear in God about in their veins. Wishes to have life. But they need to be success in their life. But it is the best thing that you need relationships. Do not commit suicide and be lonely. Try to focus on your relationship life. I've been having a relationship life before, but I had sex before. But I shouldn't have been doing this in the first place. But it's okay. Life goes on. Life has been going on with all of this in this area, But I have 2 kids though. But one is my son. He's been having a very good experience in this life for soccer. And Mariella, she has experience with her vocals and shit, But she says bad words a lot, so I'm not going to mean bad about that, what God says. Because that's the history of lessons. And Riley and Vanessa, they're pretty chill, But they can talk a lot though, like me. But, however, you want to have make big opponents in this life. Don't get mad at it. But if someone gets mad about that someone's having a baby, don't discuss this shit. Let it go. It's all over in the news. But all you'll have to do, just try to do your best on your own. Especially to my friends. I talk to my friends to be in the long life for the lifetime. But people didn't listen. Or sometimes people listen. Like my best friend Travis or Matthew. I have a lot of best friends who have a better experience in life. Sometimes my best friend, because their life is just kind of goner because of his wife passed away from murdering, but his kid is still alive. But I feel bad for that person though. That's why we want to have truth in life. Do not shoot people. Do not steal stuff. Do not do anything with stupid around before the police coming at you. Do not do speed limits all over 60 and upper. Do not do fast and furious shit. Do not do sideshows. It's dangerous. It's dangerous in your life. It can be worse. Because we know California has a lot of gang members, like sureños and norteños. No. That's a bad life right there. That's a red target right there. That's why I don't invade in this life no more. That's why we want you to be successful in your life. You gotta have to learn your lesson. Like the King's chapter, learn your lesson, learn your life better, and be grateful, and be hopeful. Because pretty soon, if I get hopeful, I might get SSI. So hopefully it's gonna be a big wait. So I'm waiting for that shit. So to see how much money I earn. If I do, then we can pay rent for regional stuff. So the regional stuff can pay it. It doesn't matter. But I have a lot of money, but in that case, I can still live with it. You know what I mean? But I love the money, but I need to take care of it on my own. That's all. And plus, I have a lot of stuff in my life. Check this out. This is my room. And look at this. Look at this, how life begins in this area. This is all my stuff since we moved from around back in the day. You see Nintendo Switch and PS5 and all the board games? That's a lot. That's why my money makes a good happy. You want to be in a happy family, you'll want to be grateful in the life. And this is my picture of my parents. That's them right there. Check this out. Mama por Dios, that's the restaurant I went there. Do you see all the stuff that I didn't live with? And these are my pictures right there too. DD's, wallet, I have everything in my life. That's why you should guys to get to know everything about that life. And that's it. And you'll be all good. and you'll be finished and you'll be done. But you'll have to be making your life complete, so that way you can make it happen till the end of the time. You know, if you're in the 60s or 40s and 50s, you'll be gone for life. But at least you'll be fine. I'll be fine too. So hopefully I can live up in the 80s, but we'll see what happens though. Yeah, so that's the life we're talking about in the Chronicles chapter. And that's it. So this is Zika Lies at the Sea. Keep it at the sea. Keep it real.